The door closes, the noise stops, and for the first time all day you can hear yourself think. Some men dread that silence. You have spent your life walking towards it. The world has words for men like you: withdrawn, detached, hard to reach. Those words are not wrong, they are only nowhere near deep enough. Because something happens in that silence, and it has a name most men never learn. There is a kind of person who has always been here. They go by different names in different centuries. The cunning woman, the hermit, the witness, the seer, the exile. The world has tried more than once to be rid of them. The world has never managed it. If you carry one of these patterns, you already know. Today I want to walk into the oldest of these, the figure who goes to the edge of the settlement and stays there. The hermit. Not the broken recluse the world learned to pity. The one who withdrew on purpose. Because he had work to do that the crowd could not hold. You know the shape of it in your own week. The early hour before the house wakes, when the light is grey and the world has not started asking anything of you yet. The long drive taken the long way home. The workshop, the shed, the walk with no destination. The small private relief when a plan falls through and the evening returns to you. You have never quite been able to explain this to the people who love you. They see a man stepping back. They wonder what they did, and you have learned to manage their worry because the truth sounds like an insult. The truth is that you were not stepping away from them. You were stepping towards something. The world has offered you explanations for this. Each one holds a piece of what is true. The first is introversion. You are simply wired to recharge alone, they say. The crowd drains a battery that the solitude refills. There is something real in that. Company does have a cost for you that others do not seem to pay. The second explanation is discipline. In a certain kind of thinking popular now among men, your solitude is mastery. You have trained yourself to need no one. You have become self-contained, sovereign, unbothered, and there is dignity in that picture. It is closer than the first. It at least grants that your solitude is a strength and not a symptom. The third is the wound. Somewhere back there you were hurt, and you retreated, and the retreat became a habit. Sometimes that is true too. Most men who value solitude carry a story that taught them the crowd was not safe. Hold all three: introversion, discipline, the old wound. Each is true as far as it goes. Between them, they seem to cover the whole of it. And yet not one of them explains the part that matters most. Not one of them explains the piece. Because these explanations describe a man avoiding something. And what you feel in the quiet is not the relief of avoidance. It is the arrival of something. That is the part no one has named for you. Start with introversion, because it is the gentlest and the most incomplete. Introversion describes a battery. You spend energy among people, and you restore it alone. But watch what actually happens when you go into your solitude. You do not come out merely restored. You come out carrying something. An idea that was not there when you went in. A decision that has quietly made itself. A clarity you did not build on purpose. Recharging is passive. You sit still, and the level rises. What you do in the quiet is not passive. Something is being made in there. A battery does not give back more than it was given. You do. You have felt this. You went in tired and tangled. You came out with the knot untied, and you could not say when your hands had done it. Then discipline. The flattering one. It says you have mastered yourself into needing no one. But look closely, and the story breaks. You are not a man who cannot bear people. You can sit with a friend in real depth. You can love. You can give more attention to one person than most men give in a lifetime, so it is not that people are too much for you. It is that the crowd cannot give you access to the thing the silence gives you. That is not the absence of a need. It is the presence of a different one. And the wound. Yes, some of you were hurt. But the wound explains why you left. It does not explain what you do once you are gone. A man hiding from pain does nothing in his solitude but hide. You do not hide in yours, you work in it. You take everything you absorbed out there, all of it. The things said and the things carefully not said. You carry it somewhere quiet to look at it properly. You feel too much to process it in the room. So you take it out of the room. That is not a wound, that is a method. You will recognize this. You are the one who finally understood the meeting an hour after it ended. Alone in the car, when the noise had cleared. So here is the question underneath the question. What if your solitude was never a retreat at all? What if it is the place you go to do the one thing you are actually for, not to escape the world, to metabolize it, to take what you saw and turn it into something the world can use? The peace you feel is not the peace of an empty room. It is the peace of a man who has finally reached his workbench. There is a name for the man at that workbench. It is very old, older than the word introvert, older than any test with letters in it. He is the hermit. And you have been taught to picture him wrongly. Not the bitter recluse, not the man the world gave up on. The hermit is the one who chose the edge of the settlement on purpose and stayed there because there was work that could only be done away from the fire. In the old images he carries a lantern. That detail matters. He did not go into the dark to disappear. He went in to see by a light he had to carry himself. In jungian terms, and this is psychology, not mysticism, the hermit describes a particular mind, a mind that must withdraw to process what it has taken in. The cave is not a metaphor for sulking. It is a description of how a certain kind of mind actually works. Some men think out loud, in the room with others. You think in the dark, alone, and bring the result back. And here is what it has cost you, whether you knew the bill was being paid or not. The world could not see the work, it only saw the leaving, so it called your tending coldness, it called your method avoidance, and on your worst nights you half believed it. You wondered whether the people who called you distant were simply right. They were not right, but do not let me flatter you either. The hermit has a shadow, and it is a real one. The same door that lets you go into work can be used to hide. Solitude that serves becomes solitude that avoids the moment you stop bringing anything back. A hermit who never returns from the cave is not doing the work. He is just gone. The peace is only real when the lantern comes back out with something in its light.